Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of Auto Simulation. This is not gonna be a long episode. I just wanna give you some updates on what I've been up to. I know that I haven't posted any video recently. Unfortunately, I do travel extensively for real due to my job, and then there was Christmas, and then there was January with all the beginning of the year stuff. So I promise I'm gonna try to make more video in the future. Now, the updates I want to give you is the one reason why I couldn't post any videos is also because I had some problems in my simulator. At the moment, it's all working. I'm actually flying from Brindisi, which is my hometown, where I live in England now, but Brindisi is where I'm from, and I'm flying to Milan Linate. I put down the volume just to talk to you. So the problem that I had is one was the throttle and one was the CDO, especially the first offset. Let's start from the CDO, which is the easy part. For some reason there's a CP Fly CDO, and when you start up it was not working, it was not coming up anything on the display. I thought originally it was something to do with ProSim, but ProSim was seeing the CDO, you could see connected, also the backlight was working. So just to give an idea, this could happen to you. So what I've done is I try to change the Raspberry Pi, which is inside nothing, and I was not expecting to be Raspberry Pi, because Raspberry Pi usually they don't break easily. I purchased some spare parts from CP Flight in Italy, and Paolo has been very nice to communicate with me. I did replace the display, I replaced everything, and it still was not working. Now there was one thing that I did not check, and there is a HDMI cable inside, and the reason why I didn't test or anything is because I thought HDMI cable to break easily, it's never heard of, especially when it's inside, you don't touch it. So what I've done, I actually think about it, say, well, everything works, I just don't see the display. So maybe that's the problem, and I test every single pin, and pin number 4 was not making any connection, well, there was no continuity. So what I've done is, instead of trying to solder again pin 4, because they're very very small, by the way, something that you can do in electronic is very common practice. If you have a heat gun, just go over the edge where there is no good connection, and just stay with the heat gun there for like 10-15 seconds, no more than that. What it does, the heat from the heat gun will make the solder paste reposition itself and makes better contact. After I've done that, connected, everything works fine. Okay, so just to give an idea that sometimes if something doesn't work, first test if ProSim actually seen it. If it's seen it, it means that there is nothing to do with the power, nothing to do with the Ethernet connection. On top of that, you should know that Raspberry Pi has two LED. One is red. It's red, which means it's getting the power. So you can test that, and if it's red, Raspberry Pi is having the power. The other one is green, and the green, the flashing means something. You can go on Google and find for yourself. For example, 3 flash means something, 7 flash means something else. So from there I understood that the program was loading, it was getting enough power, everything was working fine, I just couldn't see. So it was either the display itself, but LCD they don't break that easily. I was surprised it was actually the HDMI cable, so I didn't even have to replace it, it was just a loose connection, okay? Now the throttle, sorry, just checking this was the big problem. This is what happened. I was flying, and you can change the trim from the control, from the switch of your yoke, and you go up, and this one rotate, and you leave, and you stop, and then you go down, rotate the other way, and you release and you stop. What happened is and this is something that can happen to everybody, when I was rotating this, at the same time, before I could release the switch, my Prepare 3D simulator crashed, CTD. and the simulator at the time didn't know what to do. It kind of went into tilt mode, like, oh my god, I don't know what's happening. So I released my switch, but the wheel kept spinning and spinning and spinning. It couldn't stop. Now at the time it went so fast. One thing you can do is actually turn off from here the throttle. There is a switch. This is a cockpit for you throttle. But it didn't come to my mind to turn it off. I thought it was gonna stop. In reality, there is a mechanism inside where when this one is spinning, when it reaches the end, in order to protect going over, there is this mechanism that rotates, and this piece of metal that moves. It touches a switch, it makes the connection, and the thing should stop. In fact, it did. However, I think something that was not put into consideration is the physics. I think for the spinning and the inertia of the wheel spinning, by the time you reach the switch disconnected circuit, and this one didn't have any more power. It was still spinning a little bit, and it was too late. The piece of metal, it went over the switch. It fell down. The piece of plastic that was holding the metal with the potentiometer broke, and so this one stopped eventually, but it didn't work anymore. I turned it on after, nothing was working. It could not calibrate anything else. So what I've done is what you need to do actually, open up from the side, if you are here from the right side, because this particular piece is only on the side. Remove the trim wheel, remove the panel. You can do actually here, but I have to remove all this because I also changed, since I was doing something, I also changed one of the servo motor. And what you have to do is, I found this piece on the floor, so what I did is, first of all, the piece of plastic that broke, I put it together with super glue. You could 3D print it again, but I don't have 3D printer, so I put it with a Gorilla Glue, and I put also two sides which hold it in place. I mean, it's strong, it doesn't go anywhere, it probably is stronger than before. I reposition, I connected with the potentiometer, and the switch this time, what I've done, I discovered that the switch activates when this one reached almost 0 or reached 15, okay? However, during a flight, you never get to that type of trim. I mean, I never been on a flight where the trim was below 3 or over 10 or 11. Never happened. Usually it's between 3 and 6 maybe. So what I've done, I took the switch and I positioned in a way the clicking, I positioned in a way the mechanism to turn off the circuit, I positioned in a way that it will not stop when it reaches 0, but it will stop a little bit earlier, like when it reaches 3 or 2. So when it connects the switch and it tells the trim to stop, even if there is a little bit of inertia going on, it will not be enough to go over, so it will stop in a safe position. It was a pain to understand the mechanism, how everything works. Now everything is back to normal, works brand new. I do know that a lot of you have difficulty in contacting Torsten. I didn't begin it, but now I do as well. However, I don't think Torsten will be able to help you with this. This was a mechanical issue that it was not solved or anything. Actually, something broke down, so you need to open. But just to give an idea how things can be broken and how you can fix easily. Now this one actually works even better than before because I changed the servo motors. I also changed the make more stronger this movement, and I repositioned the switch, so I'm happy. It should not happen again, but take it from me, if you see something like that, for example, if Prepare 3D now is gonna crash and this is spinning, the first thing you want to do is to just reach here and turn it off. Just remove completely the power. That's the best things you can do, and then you assess the rest. Unfortunately, you can control all the simulator, but something that you cannot control is the Prepare 3D, the CTD. I usually don't have them, but sometimes I don't know why it happen. I'm using Prepare 3D because I'm still waiting for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 to give me the the support for the multi-screen. Once that's happening, I can ditch this completely and move to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, which is better in terms of graphic and everything. Okay, this is an autopilot. I'm gonna make myself a coffee. I'm gonna call my cabin crew for a coffee, and then I'll see you the next time. Okay.